So the third objective, we're going to talk about formulas in Google Sheets, and there are a few basic functions that I will be looking at. You have how to do summation, subtraction, division, how to average, how to find the minimum value, find the maximum value, and to find percentage. So that's the very basic functions that I'm going to focus on for this. And to do that, let me go back to the data sets that we have and try to do some of this now. So quick minute. All right, so I'm going to start by doing just a minute. I want to start by doing a addition, a summation. So because my information were entered vertically, meaning that if I'm interested in finding information on household size, just the household size, I'm going to look at it vertically. If I'm interested in finding information on number of children, vertically, because if I try to find out numbers, those summations and stuff, is going to calculate all the information in the row, which will not give you what it is that I want to do. So I'm not going to do that. Just a quick one to explain. Those functions that I'm going to do now, they are all functions that have to do with numerical function, numerical numbers or numerical values. So I'm not going to do a summation on something like gender, because it's not a number. I cannot sum something that is not a number. I can subtract, I can divide, I can average. We'll do that. We'll do those in a different module, but for now, all these basic functions are strictly going to focus on numerical values, none of the categorical values. So that said, let's go back to the data sets and figure out what we are doing. So because this ID does not mean anything, is a nominal number, summing it makes no sense. There's no information that is going to come out of summing it because it's just a nominal number. Nothing goes in here. Now I can decide to sum the total number of household income for all the participants. To do that, I can type in the equal sign, because you always need the equal sign as a way to indicate to Google Sheet or to Excel that I want to make addition right now. So as you can see, it has already automatically kind of done it for me, and it even came up with that figure. So if this is what I want, if it's some that I want, that's just it. I don't have to do anything beyond that. I can just go ahead and do that. But let's say there's another way to do it, is I can go to, let's see, you see the sigma function, sigma symbol. You can also do your summations, your functions here. You have sum, you can put in the sum, it will do the same thing for you. And in this case now, it is asking me to put the figure that I want. I already know that I'm looking for B1, and I want it to go all the way to B21. So it gives me everything. I already know what cell, the number of the cell that I want, and I can, go down to that. So it figures that bit out. So there are a couple of ways to do that. Now let's use, for example, since I want to know information about the sum of all the other information, let's say household size, number of children, number of fruits eating. Instead of having to type in some on all of them, all I have to do is just to drag it down. So once I drag it, everything just completely automatically does the calculation on my behalf, so I don't have to do anything more. I don't have to type in everything each time to be able to get that sum done. So now let's do addition. We've done addition, let's do subtraction. So the sigma sign for subtraction is not here, so I will have to use just a straight up one that says minus. And now with the minus works in a kind of a different way from the sum does. With the minus, you need to indicate which cell you want to minus it from. Okay, so you have to indicate which cell. So let's use, for example, I want to subtract B21 from B20. So select, those are the two ones that I'm interested in. So B21, I put it in there, then I use a comma, and then I close the brackets, and it does that sum for me. So let's say it does that calculation for me. Let's say I'm trying to figure out the difference in the income between participant 20 and participant 21. So that does that. And so that is another way that I can do that. It can also work in the other way. So with the subtraction, you kind of want to know, you have to know which specific values you're trying to subtract from, because let me try to use the same function that I used for sum, and let's see how that goes. So in case let's say this is B1 and B21. You can see this is an error that is coming up because it doesn't understand that command. So the subtraction works in a different way from the addition. So you kind of want to be specific in which figures or values you're trying to subtract from. Now another thing, we've done subtraction, now we can do division. Now division works in the same way as subtraction does. You have to specify which cells you want to make the division. So let us use, for example, you want to, for participant 20, this is their monthly income, household income, sorry, annual income for the household, and there are 5 people in that home, and you're trying to figure out how much on an average, like how much does each person, how much of this amount of money, this income goes for each person. So let's use, for example, so let's say, okay, let me put it this way. So let's say I want to compare household income by household size for participant 20, and let's say household income per household size. I want to do it for participant 20, and then I want to also figure it out for participants 19. I want to find the information for these two people. I want to find this information from 2 of them. So to do the multiplication, to do the division for household income per household size, I need to divide this by this. So this is going to be equal to divide, and same thing, I'm dividing the bigger number by the smaller number. So this means that, oh sorry, yeah, right thing. This means that for each person, let me format it. I like to format it and put the, yeah. This means for each person in this household, they are spending roughly $4,000 an annual for each person. And then let's do that for participant 19. We have divide, and this is the annual income, comma, household size, close bracket, and put that there. And I like to format it, so sorry. So we know that the people who are in the participants 20 are earning roughly more money than participants 19, because for each person in participant 20's household, they are getting 4,000 plus. However, for each person in participant 19's home, they're getting roughly 3,000 plus. So we know that's what's going on with that. So that kind of shows us how to do that equation. So, but we can also do the division here if it's something that we were interested in, and all of that. So now I've shown you guys multiplication, addition, subtraction, multiplication, sorry, not division. Now let's do multiplication. So now let us say that's for I'm trying to multiply. I'm trying to look for a number that I could multiply with. Now let's say that everybody in the household are earning money, right? Let's say everybody in the household is earning money. Let's say everybody in the household is earning money, but they did not report everything in the household. Let's say in participant 20's household, there are 6 of them. Sorry, there are 5 of them in the household, but instead of really the 4,000 something that we have when we divided it, what they are actually earning is $6,000. Let's say $6,000. That's what they're earning for the 3 adults people in there, because there are 2 children. So we have that there are 3 adults. So there's 3 adults that are earning 6,000. So where we could do that is we can just click on this 3. What we want is you want to multiply 3 multiply, you use the asterisk 6,000. We can type that in, and then that gives us this amount. This is what it's telling us, that if 3 of the adults are earning 6,000 each in a year, this is how much it would be if those are the three adults in the home that are earning. So this is what it is their household income would actually come up to. It's way less than what it is in this case, because there's another way to deal with that. And now let's use, for example, the same thing happens with household for participant 19. They are only 1 adult who is working in the home, and that adult is making $7,000. So that would be 1 multiplied by 7,000, and they would have way less money than what the annual income is. So that is, how to tell you how to do that. But there is also another formula to doing your multiplication, and that is using the product function. You go to math here, and you see where it says product. How's that? Yeah, product. Product is a way of multiplying. So you are multiplying instead of doing that, you use product. So now let's say I need to take this off merging because I merged it. Remove it from merging. I want to multiply B 17 by B 21. So that's going to be product B 17 comma B 21. So that's does the multiplication for me. So these are the two ways that you can do your multiplication. Then I think the last one to do is minimum number, meaning and maximum. So how the minimum and maximum works is, you're trying to say in this household income, you're trying to figure out the least number of income that somebody is earning. Let's say this is minimum and this is maximum. You're trying to figure out the least amount of money of all the participants, how much, which, the least amount of money in household income they're earning, and the person with the maximum amount of money. So that's how that works. So you use the equal sign as well, and like you see, this kind of sorts that out for you. You can do that where it does that. Alternatively, you can also go and use it for this one as well. So with the maximum, I want to do maximum. It kind of picks that. This Google Sheet is quite smart. It tells me the same thing. This is the maximum household income in my participants, and this is the minimum household income. Now I can stretch this out to give me the figure for how much, for number of children, household income and number of children. So I can see that the household with the most number of children has it as 6, and some household list number of children is 0. And then household size, most is 1, and the least is 1, the most is 9. So that's a way of doing that. Right, so lastly, how do we do percentage? So percentage kind of works in a way, if you were doing math. The formula here is kind of confusing, so I don't want to do that for you guys. So I'm just going to use the regular way of calculating percentage here. So we have brackets. Need to do a bracket, and this divided by this, let's see, and multiply by 0.1. Oh, sorry, the wrong one, wrong math, sorry. So this is going to be this divided by this, divided by 0.1. Sorry, I need to close my brackets. 0. So the way this number is too small for it. Let me try another method. I'm trying to pick a number that is not as close to each other. Okay, so let me find the percentage of the children that are eating. Let's say percentage of children that are eating 43 fruits in 2 weeks. This is going to be, have to put the open brackets. So this divided by this number of children. Remember, you have to close up the gap, and is divided by 0.1. So that is 86% of the children are eating this 43 fruits, more or less. It's kind of dividing it. If we were making the assumption that everybody is getting it, that's 86%. So that is how the formula for percentages is it's like using the math way of doing it. It doesn't really have a function in the way that it does with that. Another way of doing that, let's see, is you can get the percents from here. You can get the percentage from here. So let us see, we want to subtract, all right. We want to divide, we we want to divide this by this, and no, sorry, I want to, okay, let me do it again. I want to divide this by this, right? And we want to have it presented in percentage format. You just have to go to number, percent, and that's that. That's another way of doing that. So this is the end of that. I hope this is of use to you guys and kind of showed you how to use the functions, which you can get from here, but you can also you know, Excel is very good at helping you out in figuring it out. All right, do have a lovely day. Bye.